Power doesn't always need force to govern. Sometimes it only needs agreement. Manufacturing consent explains how that agreement is produced, quietly, systematically, and at scale. In earlier explainers, we examined propaganda, censorship, and narrative control. Manufacturing consent brings these elements together, not as isolated tools, but as a systemic outcome. It explains how societies can appear free and pluralistic, while still producing broad acceptance of specific policies and power structures. Manufacturing consent refers to the process by which public agreement is shaped indirectly, rather than imposed through force or explicit repression. It does not require constant propaganda. It does not depend on censorship. And it does not assume people are manipulated against their will. Instead, it works by structuring the range of acceptable opinion. Manufacturing consent operates through familiar mechanisms: consistent framing of issues, repetition of dominant assumptions, reliance on approved experts and institutions, and the marginalization of perspectives that challenge core interests. Most information remains factually accurate. What changes is context, emphasis, and continuity. Before we continue, if you think this is valuable, please like. It helps share it with others. Subscribe so we stay informed together. Manufacturing consent becomes most important during periods of stress: economic pressure, geopolitical conflict, legitimacy erosion, or prolonged crisis. In these moments, managing perception is often more effective than overt coercion. Stability is preserved not by silencing dissent, but by absorbing it within safe boundaries. Manufacturing consent is best detected over time. Watch for recurring assumptions that go unquestioned, for policies presented as having no alternative, for narrow debates around broad decisions, and for moral framing that discourages structural critique. When disagreement exists but outcomes remain consistent, consent may be manufactured rather than freely formed. Manufacturing consent explains how power sustains itself without force, by shaping what feels acceptable, reasonable, and normal. This is TNBC Explainers. Understand the concepts behind how the world works. Manufacturing consent is part of TNBC Explainers Module 1, Perception, Narrative, and Mass Behavior. TNBC Explainers is a growing YouTube course. New concepts are added over time.